So what's up, guys? Today I wanted to record a video because I am celebrating some wins here. So 4 years ago, on September 9th of 2020, I had decided that I was going to start documenting a new win every year for the next however long. And the first one of that was on September 9th of 2020, was that I was going to quit smoking cigarettes. So it has officially been 4 years since I've smoked cigarettes. And I had been smoking since I was 18. So it didn't feel like something that I was going to be able to do. However, I did do it. I don't think it was hard eventually because it fucking stinks. And eventually I did end up getting past that initial hand to mouth like fixation that cigarettes gave me, which is the reason why I had liked smoking them in the first place. Also, it was kind of an escape for me. Smoking cigarettes, reading a book, it helped me to escape my miserable life that I was living at the time. But by the time I reached 2020, it just felt like it was an excuse. Like, life is my own, and I don't really much like smoking cigarettes anymore. So I quit. And that was 4 years ago. And then so on not September 9th, so it was actually August 8th of 2021 that I quit drinking. However, I didn't remember that I had started the passage until it was September, and then I had ran across the first one and remembered, and then I wrote the second one on September 9th of 2021. However, I have already celebrated my 3-year sober journey last month. But for this purposes, I will be celebrating it again, because why not? I did already tell my story about my drinking on my YouTube, but just to make it quick here, I grew up around alcoholics. My parents were alcoholics, so drinking had always been in my life. I have seen a lot of fucked up shit because of alcohol. And when I met my ex, my children's father, he also was an alcoholic, and it kind of just exploded into my own alcoholism. I do not blame my parents. I do not blame my ex. I take full responsibility for the fact that I picked that up and I did not want to put it down, even when I wanted to put it down. But in 2021, I have decided I was not going to be an alcoholic. That was not going to be my story. And that whatever the fuck generational curse of constant alcoholism was going to break with me. Although my parents did quit drinking, so good for them. Not that, like, but anyways, yeah. So, and then in 2022 on September 9th, I had decided to start a healing spiritual journey, and that has been a wild ride. It's probably the one that I'm most excited about. Like, to me, the drinking was the hardest, but the spiritual healing journey has been the most rewarding out of all of the ones I've added so far, because my God. And I think I started and I stopped and I started and I stopped, because sometimes I think I got a little like scared that I was changing too fast, and then I would like slow down. But I have gone full ride for the last year and a half. So for anyone who has any sort of a drinking issue, I would say, any issue with cigarettes, I would say try things like hempettes or cocoa bean sticks. That kind of, if it's the hand mouth fixation situation, that would help you kind of like get past that. If you like gum, that also would help. Oral fixation, if you kind of have that, try hempettes or cocoa bean sticks. If you have a drinking problem, I would recommend going to AA. I did for a while. I wouldn't say that helped me per se, because I was so fucking determined that honestly, if I didn't go to AA, it wouldn't have mattered. I still would have quit. But it was nice to have a community of people who understood, because it was like trying to have conversations with brick walls when I would try to explain my urges to drink, but knowing that I so badly didn't want to. Trying to explain that to people who were still drinking was like going one ear out the other, and then trying to explain that to people who never had an alcohol problem, they were just kind of like, why don't you just stop? And it's like, I am stopping, but the fuck? So, if nothing else, try AA, because those people will understand exactly what you're going through, and you'll have chances to tell your story. For those of you who are starting a healing or spiritual journey, take your time. It is not a race. It is a marathon. Take your time, drink your water. It is a very beautiful journey if you don't look at it like, where is the end result? What is the end result going to look like? Look at it as if it is a forever thing. This is not necessarily a journey that stops like some of the ones I have on my list where I'm just like, okay. I mean, like cigarettes and alcohol, that's never going to happen again. But this is not something that has an end result. I suppose like cigarettes and alcohol, this is a forever thing. So just take your time. Be calm about it. Some people, I think, go a little too, and you might end up with some type of psychosis or whatever. Like, just in due time. I think when it comes to a spiritual and healing journey, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens when it needs to happen. Everything is happening for you, not to you. September 9th of 2023 is when I decided to be celibate. So this is not necessarily like the first two. This isn't an addiction problem. Although I do have a high libido, it's never been like one of those kind of things. No offense to anybody who has that issue. That was not my issue. So my issue when it comes to, I would say when it came to sex, because yeah, I wanted to heal my my trauma about sex. I don't know if it's necessarily a trauma or whatever. I'm not really sure how to word it, but just how people try to put that on women, or how we should be viewing sex. I used to kind of hate when you break up and you're like in this relationship and people are always telling the women to like take some time and focus on yourself. I just always felt like they're not saying it like I'm doing it. They're saying it like, I feel like they're just saying it in a way where it's like men are supposed to go out there and fuck to get over the woman. And then the woman is just supposed to spend 10 years ruminating over her dumbass relationship that she should have left 10 years ago. You should never even have made it to 10 years. And it's just like, people want you to wait that long because you're a woman. And I used to hate that shit. So I never really took time in between my relationships or situations, because I used to feel like you're not about to make me feel like I gotta sit down somewhere. And these guys get to do whatever the hell they want. So I made the conscious decision in 2023 to not necessarily do that, not be the person who never fucking moves on from their ex, but to actually take the time to see what it is that I want out of a relationship. Or do I even want a relationship? What is it that I would want out of a marriage? Do I even want marriage? You know, like if I decided that I wouldn't mind just being like, you know, the rich auntie with her little boyfriends, is that something I actually want, or am I just running away from the ideal of love because my relationships failed? Yes, so I'm not, this isn't going to be on the list in 2025. No, celibacy probably will not be on my list in 2025, because I also started my weight training journey. So I have officially been a year in weight training. That's going to be my 5, 4, 3, 2 for next year. Celibacy won't be it, but I am very excited that I did it, and I almost failed a couple of times because, like I said, I got a high libido, and somehow these fine ass men started coming out of nowhere at the last minute. I almost slept out. I almost slept up, but we're here. We made it. Okay, it's September 9th, and I ain't did shit. So, woo. Anyways, I ain't gonna go in the night tonight, but let me stop. Mostly it's just because I wanted to make sure I know what I want, and I didn't want to be blinded by sex because I like it. Anyways, but what I will be adding for next year is I'm going to do a year straight of creative writing, and I think that I could get a nice, beautiful book out of it, and I'm excited about it. So I will see you guys September 9th, 2025.